Broncos defense, I'm feeling the pass defense is ranked pretty highly in a lot of analytical categories.
Yeah, they're a really good defense, and they're about as good as we've seen. And the combination of their front seven, their defensive backs, and their linebackers, they're really well coached. They play sound, fundamental football, and they've got some really athletic guys on that side of the ball.
You're playing like quite a bit of zone this year, more zone than most teams in the NFL. What sort of challenges does that present when the team's playing a lot of zone versus man?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think, kind of like I mentioned, they play really sound fundamental football, and they know exactly what their job is, where their weaknesses are, and they've done an incredible job of getting after the passer and causing turnovers and causing incompletions, and that's what happens when you play zone football, and, they've done a really good job of that all year so far.
What's keys for you facing a pass rush like this?
Just to trust my offensive linemen, go through my reads as quickly as I can, get the ball out, and try to avoid negative plays.
Monday night football, is there anything extra special to you about playing on Monday nights and being the only kind of team, only show in town?
I think it's always a great opportunity to play football, regardless of what day we play. I think it's always a special time for us to go play football, and it's obviously a really good team that we're going up against, and so we've had to have a good week of practice, good week of preparation to have any chance on Monday.
Going back to the
Sorry, who? Patrick. Yeah, I mean, he's an incredible corner. He's done an incredible job the past 2 years, and one of the best in the league. And we've seen him play, make plays time and time again. And he's definitely a guy you have to be aware of out there.
Just going back to avoiding negative plays, it's been something you've done since you've gotten in the league is just keeping the sack numbers low despite pressure this year. I think 72 pressures and giving up 5 sacks. So a lot of that is just your ability to move around the pocket, get outside the pocket. What goes into that for you in terms of when you are under pressure, avoiding sacks? Like how do you make that happen? Is it just an innate feel? Is it watching tape? Is it something that you've developed since you've come into the league? What goes into that for
I
you?
think it's a lot of things. I think it starts with our protection plan. Joe Lombardi and Coach Nuge, they're putting together an incredible protection plan, and then it starts with the guys up front and giving me enough time to get the ball off. And Corey, Rashawn, Matt, they've done an incredible job the past 2 years, and so to have guys like that, Jamari and Zion, to step up and have guys and have threats out there on the outside, getting the ball to them and going to make something happen, they make my job a lot easier.
What it does break down, though, is that like a feel thing for you? Is it something that you sort of always had playing quarterback, is being able to feel pressure and find those open pockets to get to, sort of avoid those negative plays?
Yeah, I think it's experience. I think just seeing it and going through it and, having the understanding of seeing different pressures and different types of blitzes and knowing where your hots are, knowing where to get the ball out and where your checkdowns are. So I think that's a big part of playing quarterback.
Now well into your second season with Brandon, how would you describe the culture that he has developed around here?
It's a team, and we're committed to each other, and we believe really highly in each other. And, I'm thankful to share the field with these guys out here, and they've done an incredible job all year of getting prepared, being close, and going out there and fighting every game.
Is there anything particular that Brandon has kind of tried to instill in you guys as a team or even in the entire organization, do you think?
I think just the emphasizing that, it's a team and we're committed to each other. We're going to compete during practice, and we're going to do everything we can to be the best team that we can be.
How different is this offense with Austin Eckler the past 2 weeks versus the first 3, and just your run game in general when you're able to get it going?
I think it's pretty much the same offense. I think Eck is definitely a very talented player, and anytime that we can get him the ball, something good is going to happen. It just didn't go our way the first 3 weeks with him, and he's a patient guy, and his work ethic hasn't changed over those past 5 weeks. So he's the same guy week in and week out, and it's really good to see from him.
Justin, with your rib situation, do you feel like it's getting better?
I think it's getting better. I think time is probably the best help.
Is there like a number you can put on it? Would you say you're 80%, 90%, 100%?
I don't know. I think it's, as long as it's getting better, I think that's the most important thing.
Just going back to the 4th down late, you guys had the slant called to Mike. Just watching that back on film, what did you sort of see in terms of how that play developed? The corner obviously jumped inside to take away the slant from Mike. Just what did you see on tape?
Yeah, I mean, Mike is definitely one of those guys that it's 4th down, the game's on the line, you're going to have to go to him, and you're going to have to make a play. And, I'm going to trust him, and we're going to ride that way. And, if that's what Coach Staley wants to do, and that's the way he believes in us, I know that we believe in him and our defense and all those guys that step out there on offense. So we're with him 100%.
Just talking to Joe about the play call, like there had been plays in the past where you you guys have had a slant to Mike called, and when the corner jumps inside, he'll take it deep. Like in that Chiefs game last year, you hit him for a touchdown, like a 25-yard touchdown, where he sort of took it deep. Were you expecting him to do that with the way the corner was playing there? Or?
No, that's when a route's called, usually the receiver will run that route, and Mike's done a really good job of having a feel for that. They got us there, and it's an unfortunate situation that we didn't get it. I wouldn't ask Mike to be able to just completely change the route, because then it affects my timing, and if I do end up throwing a slant and he's running something else, it's a bad look. So I've got full confidence in Mike, our offensive line, and all those guys that we ran that play.
And then when the slot corner came down to defend Austin, DeAndre was there on the inside running a slant. Were you looking at him initially just because that the slot corner had dropped off and there might have been an opportunity for him to sit that route down? Were you looking there initially, or were you always just looking at Mike on that?
I'd have to take a look at it. It's been a while, so we've moved on to Denver, and whatever happened there happened, and we got on, and we'll be better because of it.
What have you seen on film from Denver's pass rush in particular that's allowed them to get to the quarterback so much this year?
Yeah, they've done a really good job of getting after the passer, and that's when incompletions, turnovers, fumbles, things like that happen, and they've been able to do that all year, and they've got a really impressive front seven, and so we have to have a good plan for those guys.